Hello, Integrated Math 1 parents. I'm Miss Scott, and I am your student's Integrated Math 1 teacher. So since we can't do back to school night in person, we get to watch videos. Hooray. So I'm just going to walk you through a few things that you're probably going to want to know about my class and hopefully answer your questions before you even know you have them. So yes, I'm teaching Integrated Math 1. I do have a course description, which you can access using this lovely URL right here, https://tinyurl.com/m64uvfe5. So I did try to shorten the URL for you, and of course you're welcome to hit pause and get that URL. I know unfortunately you can't click on it. So I'm going to click on it just real quick, just to show you. Here is my lovely course syllabus. We're going to be talking a lot about linear functions, sequences, touching on systems of equations, shapes on the coordinate plane, exponential functions, construction, and congruence. So we're really doing a bit of basic algebra and a little bit of basic geometry during this class. And of course, successful completion of this class with a C or better indicates you are ready for Integrated Math 2. It also is an A to G course, so that's helpful to know. And we'll get into these things, materials you want to be successful in class, assignments, how this works. Again, I'm going to talk about all those on my slides in a moment. But just to give you an idea, this is what we expect. Not too worried about behavior problems, but, being respectful, determined when things get hard, keep going. And of course, being in class on time and prepared, right? Having all your stuff ready to go. As well as I do want students to succeed. But in order to make that happen, they got to be willing to put in the work. You know how it goes. And so, of course, there's also information here. So you can totally access that whenever you like. That's available to you. So just again, we mentioned materials briefly. I do want to give a quick rundown. You do want to bring the Chromebook, and they do need to bring the Chromebook computer with them to class every day. Obviously, we use this a lot. We don't use them all the time, but we sure are grateful when they are there. Pencils, this is a math class. We make mistakes, want to be able to erase it and fix it. So we do a lot of work in pencil here. They do have a workbook, Carnegie Learning Integrated Math 1 workbook. It comes in 2 volumes. For the first semester, we're pretty much going to be in volume 2, but eventually second semester we'll be moving into first semester will be in volume 1, second semester we'll be moving into volume 2. So for now, they just need to bring volume 1 with them to class every day. Scientific calculator doesn't need to be fancy. Just a nice little scientific calculator should do the job just fine, get us through. We will eventually do some construction. So having things like a compass, a protractor, some kind of ruler or straight edge, as well as scissors and a glue stick or tape, that's going to be helpful as well. I know they end up using a lot of that for their science classes too. That'll be helpful in math as well. And of course, paper, some kind of notebook, that will also be super helpful. And I highly recommend it. See if I can close that up. There we go. Everybody wants to know how to get the grade. So the grading breakdown is like this. Assignments are 20% of the grade. Exit tickets and other activities along those lines will be 15% of the grade. Assessments, that's your tests, your quizzes, all that good stuff, that's 50%, that's half the grade. And final exam is 15% of the grade 1-5. And we do that at the end of each semester. So in December, there'll be a final exam. And then again in June for second semester, there'll be a final exam. Grades do start over at the semester. So our grades will continue on up until December. And then in January, they restart all over again for second semester. You do need to have a passing grade in both semesters in order to move on to Integrated Math 2. And then I just have the basic generic breakdown. It's not fancy. Sorry, that's in the way. I'm going to move that out of the way. There we go. Maybe that's a little better. You know how it goes. A is 90 to 100%, B's are 80 to 89, C is 70 to 79, D is 60 to 69, and F is 59% or less. Pretty standard. Just so you know some of the policies in the classroom, just so you kind of understand what's going on here. Any day that we have a lesson, there's going to be homework. I don't give a lot of homework. It's just like a couple of problems. And sometimes students even manage to finish it in class before they go. Just depends on the day. But it's usually just a few problems. I'm not overloading them with homework. Homework is given points based on completeness and work shown. And if you have an assignment, if your student turns in an assignment that is less than half done, I will be returning it for completion. I do accept late work, but it will only receive half credit. But this is what I mean. If you're turning something in that's less than half done, you're earning fewer points than if you took the time to get it all completed and then turned it in for half credit. That would actually still be more points than turning in less than half done. So those are my policies. That's how that works. Quizzes. Every week we usually have a quiz at some point, and any week we don't have a test, we'll usually have a quiz. That's kind of how things run around here. The quiz questions always come straight from the homework. They always come straight from the homework. So it's important students are asking questions about the homework when I give them that time at the start of class, because your quiz questions are going to come straight from your homework. So it's important to make sure they're doing that practice. It will help. Every test will come with a review that looks just like the test. So there will also be an answer key to the review available in Google Classroom. I know you guys don't have all the access that the kids do, but if your student is working on the review and wants to know if they got something right or wrong, tell them to go to Google Classroom and find the answer key, and they can check it, see how they're doing. We will be doing test corrections in class after each test. For test corrections, students can use their notes and the review worksheet, all that good stuff, to help them fix their mistakes to receive partial credit back, allowing them the opportunity to bring the test up at least one letter grade, unless, of course, they already earned an A, in which case I suppose they could try to earn a higher A. That's fine. There is extra credit, but extra credit is only made available at the end of each unit, and it's only available for students with no missing assignments for that unit. So if your student wants to be able to do extra credit, they need to make sure they have everything turned in for that unit. That will be helpful. So just to give you an idea of how a typical class runs in Miss Scott's room, first thing they do, students come in, they sit down, they write down the day's assignment, which I always have on the board in the room, and then they start working on the warm-up, which I already have on the screen at the front, and that's in their workbooks. They just pop it open, they start working on the warm-up. We will quickly debrief on the warm-up. At that point, students are allowed to ask me questions about the previous night's homework, and this is what I was mentioning before, because those quiz questions come straight from the homework. It's important that if a student is struggling with the homework problem, that they ask me about it at that point in time, because odds are somebody else had a hard time with it too. Homework is collected after we answer the questions, and on quiz days, when we do have quizzes, which is not every day, the quiz will come right after I collect the homework and answer the homework question, so it's still fresh in their mind, hopefully. Miss Scott and the students get into the day's lesson activities. So they're taking notes in their workbook. Students are interacting with me and my co-teacher if they're in a co-taught class, and they're using that workbook to take notes. Occasionally, we do pull out the Chromebooks as needed for specific activities. And each day, the lesson ends with completing a ticket out the door problem on the board. You can probably already see behind me, I'm set up for tomorrow. The ticket out the door problem has been sitting on the board at the front of the room the entire class period. And students know that by the end of the period, they should be able to answer that question based on what we were working on in class that day. And that's how they end it. We finish off with our little ticket out the door exit ticket. All work, announcements, links, and materials, everything is going to be posted in Google Classroom. So I know, again, you guys don't have access to Google Classroom, and my Google Classroom is going to look a little different than your students' Google Classroom, but they're going to bring it up and have a page similar to this where it will have all of their classes. And if they click on a class, again, mine looks a little bit different because I'm the teacher, but you can see the stream. The stream is sometimes hard for me to follow. So I find that if a student clicks on classwork, they can see my topics and my categories, and they can see everything all nice and organized and ready to go. Just a lot easier to follow that way. One of the cool things about it as well is, of course, I have different things on the side than they do, but students can also organize according to what's missing, right? Assignments they're missing. And of course, if they click on an assignment, you can see, oh, look, here's the page numbers, the problem numbers, directions, all of that great stuff there. So a lot of detail here that they don't necessarily get in other places. The other cool thing about it is if they come over here to the instructions, they can also find a video. I make a video for every single lesson we do. So if they're missing, they're absent a day that we do the lesson, or maybe they just got home and they forgot how to do it, there's a video that will help walk them through that day's lesson and hopefully get their brains moving in the right direction. I also have the workbook pages included here as well. I know they have their workbook, but I have the workbook pages there too. So just so you know, the students should be able to find everything they need on Google Classroom. It's pretty magical. Also be aware that I will also be sending out announcements on Parent Square and Student Square. So be sure to download the app to your device. I know the school has been sending out announcements that way. You can get notified via the app, the Parent Square, Student Square app. You can have it sent to your email. You can have it sent as a text to your phone. A lot of different ways. I love Parent Square and Student Square. It's an awesome way just to stay connected and know what's going on here in class. Yay. So what can you do to help your student be successful? Well, it sounds silly, but you know what? Ask them how their day or class or week went. Just how are things going, right? Stay connected with your kid. Encourage your student to ask for help as needed before they get overwhelmed, right? If they're struggling, encourage them to come in and talk to me. Come see me during office hours on Thursday mornings, right? Come talk to me and see what we can do to help you out. I am here to help. And this kind of leads us into encourage your student to attend office hours on Thursday mornings. I'm here Thursday mornings just to help students with questions. That's all I do for office hours. So do encourage your student to come in during office hours to get help, to ask questions, to make sure they understand those things that they're struggling with. That's what office hours are for. We are in this together, so remember that I am here to help you. Of course, this is my email, escott@carmelunified.org. Many of you have already discovered it. And my phone number here at the school, you can call the school at 831-624-1821. And my extension here at the school is 3748. And you can drop me a line, leave me a message, all that good stuff. I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Some days that's faster than others. I won't deny that. So I hope you found this useful. I hope you got some information just about what we do here in Integrated Math 1 in Miss Scott's class. And hopefully I'll get to talk to you soon. Bye.